Hello there, my beautiful friends. It is Monday, so you know what time it is. It is time for Pay or Stay Away, where we discuss new things that have been announced in the makeup industry and decide whether or not we want to spend our hard-earned coin on them. So if you are interested in seeing what is new in the makeup world, then go ahead and keep on watching, and let's jump right on in. So the very first release that I wanted to discuss for this week is something new from Jeffree Star. We coincidentally have two very controversial public figures that are very polarizing for a lot of people. Like, you either love these people to death or you absolutely hate them. There's really no one way or the other, but now this collection consists of the Bloodlust eyeshadow palette, which is going to be retailing for $54, and this is going to have 18 different shades with a mixture of mattes to metallic and to even sparkly extreme metallic formulas that are new to his brand, allegedly. He is also coming out with the Queen Bitch new mini velour liquid lipstick set, which will retail for $52. It will include 2 new shades as well. And the final item in the collection that stuck out the most to me is one of the extreme frosts in the shade Choking on Ice. That name is significantly less controversial and less uncomfortable for me to say here on camera, and I probably won't get demonetized this time for saying this highlighter name. I can't say the same for when he first came out with the original set of Extreme Frost highlighters. And that highlighter will be retailing for $50. Woo, that is expensive, but I have seen quite a few pictures of this highlighter, and I've just seen quite a few pictures of people posting swatches of their Extreme Frost highlighters, and they look damn beautiful. Like, I can't lie and sit here and say that if they weren't always sold out, I wouldn't already own, like the one that got me in trouble last time with YouTube. I would definitely own that shade. This shade is much more purple. Everything in this collection is purple, obviously. We got a lot of purple going on here, and I am most definitely a purple lover. So because this is an all purple collection, you would think that this is like totally up my alley because I love purple, and for a long time, I went through like a huge phase where I would legitimately only wear purple eyeshadow like every single day. And, you know, that phase is definitely over. I still love purple eyeshadow, don't get me wrong, but because I went through that phase, I have a buttload, like a plethora of purple eyeshadow, metallic, you know, royal purple, lilac purple, almost blue purple. I have like every type of purple imaginable in my collection already. Now, I would be lying if I said that I didn't want, you know, the eyeshadow palette for those beautiful, super wet, shimmery shades. And they're pink. The shades that are in that formula are definitely a lot pinker, a lot warmer, a lot more lilac-y toned. And I'm more likely to gravitate to a formula like that is in a pink tone, because then I can use it as a highlighter on my cheeks, or I can just use it all over the lid. And I love me a good wet, glistening, sparkly pink shadow or highlight. Clearly. But I don't think that this is worth spending the $54, I believe it was, and fighting people online to try to get this palette. I know that since the last time that I bought a Jeffree Star palette, things have gotten a lot crazier with his brand, in the sense that you really have to box somebody out of the ring to be able to get your hands on one of these. And I'm just so past wanting to do that for makeup companies and having to refresh the page 3 minutes before everything drops, waiting for it to turn to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm just so over that. So honestly, I think that if I could ever get my paws on this at a future time where there's not a bunch of people on the website trying to get it at the same time as me, and I feel like I want to add more purple eyeshadow to my collection, this would be the perfect palette to get. I think it's gorgeous, but I'm not willing to fight people for it, and I know that I don't need it. The highlighter, on the other hand, I think it's amazing, but if I'm gonna spend the $50 on one of those damn highlights, I want that one. That one's beautiful. That one is gold, orangey, pinky. Fun fact, I'm actually wearing a dupe of that today here on my cheeks. This is from Gliminatrix Cosmetics, and I believe it's the shade Sundown, and I'm pretty sure that this was created to look like that one. Either way, even if it wasn't, it's very similar, and it is absolutely beautiful. So I have something to, you know, tide me over until I can one day, hopefully, finally spend the $50, cry a little bit, and then get my beautiful highlighter. Also, this backdrop here is like the definition of throwback. If you've been here since the beginning of my channel, you probably remember this guy popping up in almost every single one of my videos, and I figured, why not bring him out for a spin again? I liked him. There was nothing wrong with him, so why not give him a try again? Now, if only I could convince myself to have that type of attitude with my makeup products and not backdrops. So the second release also has to do with a very controversial public figure that people either absolutely love with all of their hearts or absolutely hate with all of their hearts as well. And this is the new palette from Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. You know, I really was not going to bring up this release, but to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot of releases that made me actually have an opinion other than just like, okay, that's whatever, that means nothing to me. So I had to bust this guy out, even though I know that I'm still gonna get hate comments no matter what, telling me my nose is big, and people are just gonna come for me. Whatever. I'll take the risk, I'll take the fall here, because Jaclyn Hill has come out with a new Morphe palette. Yes, my friends, it has happened again. Now, obviously, this is a collaboration with Morphe, and it retails for $39. This palette contains mattes, shimmers, and pressed glitters. I'm like actually kind of scared to tell my opinion on this, even though I've been vocal before about not wanting to purchase Morphe and just not wanting to have anything to do with any of this kind of stuff. But you know, it gets a little scary giving your public opinion on the internet, knowing people are gonna come for you. Oh well, the risk I must take in the name of makeup. But I want nothing to do with this palette, and it's not because I dislike Jaclyn Hill. At one point, I was a huge fan of her, and I absolutely understand why people like her. She is so bubbly and fun and energetic. I wish I was like that kind of girl, but I'm so quiet and timid and weird. She's so much freaking fun, and I love it. And honestly, I still wouldn't purchase this palette if somebody else's name was slapped onto this palette. I have no interest in purchasing from Morphe just because I distrust them. Of course I distrust them. There are so many people out there that distrust them, and I don't really like the quality of their products to begin with. I think that they've really gone up in price, and if I want, you know, an affordable brand that I know I'm going to be able to rely on and that I know is going to be consistent like 90% of the time, I have good old ColourPop to choose from if I want any of these tones. Are these tones beautiful? Yeah, they're really pretty. I like the mix of the more kind of sandy camel browns up at the top, then those beautiful neon like yellows and neon pinks and oranges, and I absolutely adore the bottom two rows, although the bottom two rows really remind me of those vault palettes that Jaclyn and Morphe came out with. There was one of them that was like a purpley mauvey berry tone, and I heard decent things about that palette actually, and I thought that the color selection in that palette was gorgeous. So if I wanted something that was like, you know, the bottom two rows that I'm most interested in, I would just pick that guy up. But either way, I'm not picking anything up from this collection or Morphe in general because I want nothing to do with them. I don't trust them, and you know, some people still do, and that's wonderful, but I don't. Please don't put my head on a stake and parade it around the beauty community. I know it's already being planned, isn't it? So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I ain't buying it. Oh man, how do I even follow up that monstrosity of a review, I suppose, of the new release that is Morphe and Jaclyn Hill? How do I even follow that up? Like, we'll follow it up with a brand that I have very neutral feelings towards, and this is Terra Moon Cosmetics. Now, they just came out with their Cosmic Chameleon shadows. These retail for $13 a pop, or you can get the set of 6 for $70, which is expensive, don't get me wrong, but these are multi-chromes. Multi-chromes are a pretty penny, but most of the times, like 9 times out of 10, they're absolutely amazing and worth every penny. Hi! Come here. You're so cute. I don't really feel like these are the most expensive multi-chromes in the world either, because there are brands out there that are charging like 30 bucks for multi-chromes and whatnot, so the $13 price point is not bad by any means. I also love that these are pressed multi-chromes and that they're not loose multi-chromes, because I am not really a loose eyeshadow kind of person. I'm down for pigments when it comes to like lighter colors, but for some reason I just never want to work with deeper toned pigments because they're just too much of a pain in the butt to deal with. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'm a lazy girl and I don't want to clean that up. But these are gorgeous, but the colors are just not so much me. If these were like muted pastel tones, oh my god, I would love them. And Terra Moon Cosmetics has already done that before. They came out with some beautiful iridescent like pastel tones, and I happen to own 2 of them. I have my eye on Terra Moon Cosmetics because they have been coming out with some really beautiful releases, and I'm excited to see what they have to show us in the future. Speaking of beautiful multi-chromes, the very last thing we have to chat about for this week is something new from Bitter Lace Beauty. Now, we've been shown like the tiniest, like 1 second long snippet of some swatches from this alleged candy collection that is going to be coming soon. We don't have any information on this, but I figured that the very tiny amount of footage that I saw of these shadows were enough to entice me, enough to want to bring it to you guys here and share it with you. I think that these are absolutely gorgeous. I love the colors. I love that beautiful kind of mauve tone. And obviously we have a very shimmery, sparkly eyeshadow that has been designed around candy themes. You know I love this concept. You know I love this type of shadow. And I am so excited to see the final and full collection. And obviously this is my kind of product, so I'm pretty darn sure that I'll end up picking at least one of these up once we see the full reveal. Alright, my loves, but I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. Ruby next to me right now is getting very anxious, and she's getting very, I don't know, bored of being in here with me and bored of me not paying attention to her. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So let me know in the comments, what are you looking at for this week out of the new releases? What are things that are interesting you? What are things that you're like, hell no, I don't want that at all. Get it away from me. Like how I feel about a certain palette that we won't name anymore. Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy Pay or Stay Away and you enjoy hearing about these new releases, then I would absolutely love it if you gave me a big old thumbs up and subscribed. This way you can join the fam here and watch Pay or Stay Away every week to keep up to date with these new releases that are always dropping left and right. It's a lot to keep track of. But with that being said, I hope you are having an absolutely amazing and beautiful day wherever you are, and thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope to see you next time. Bye!